Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video I wanted to talk about tags within Azure. Okay, tag, a lot of us we may think about it's a simple thing. It's not required when you deploy a new resource, but it's very important for governance. If you're really working in an enterprise environment and if you want to classify your resources in terms of whether they're in development environment, production environment, or by different departments, finance departments, your engineering team, whatever, many departments, and that's how you can get the billings. That's very critical when you want to understand what resource is causing and which group of resources may be giving you a set of cost. So that analysis is critical. So what I recommend usually that even before you move all of your resources to Azure, come up with your policy, your governance policy, and think about a scheme like what tags may be relevant to your own environment and how you want to classify your resources in case there's a need. In case you want to know, okay, I want to learn about all the resources that I have within Azure that are in the production environment. How quickly can you do that? Okay, and once you have that, you can even come up with Azure policies to make sure that when other people they're deploying the resources, they gotta have certain key values. If the tags are missing, you can stop the deployment. So you can do a lot of stuff. In this one, I'm not going to go over how to create the policies to make sure that you have a tag, but I'm just going to explain how that tag is being used. Now I'll just do some demo. Okay. So first of all, if you go to your Azure environment and say I'm going to a resource group, say I have one resource group right here. Okay, so even if you look at this resource group, there is something called tags. Okay, there is nothing, and from the Azure portal you can click and you can add a tag. If you click on it, it will tell you what are the tags what I have used for some other resources. So maybe let's check this as environment. If you click on that, it will also tell you what are the values I have previously used for this particular resource type, or you can type your own. So like previously I have used dev, maybe let's use a prod for this one. Okay, and then you just say yes. So one thing I just did, I added a tag to a resource group. Okay, so you may think that all the resources that I have under the resource group also got the same tag, but that is not the case. Like this resource group, I have only one resource called a key. This is a SSH key. So if I go inside the SSH key and see that there is the tags, but the tag that I applied to the resource group didn't percolate down to this level. So that's another key aspect that you have to understand, that tag, if you add it at the upper level, it does not go down to the individual resources that are deployed inside. So here, if I want, okay, so last one I can add, okay, the same environment, and last time the resource I said prod. If I like, I can even call this, okay, inside this I'm having this particular key, and this is really a development key I'm not going to use for the production environment. Okay, so your tag, exact same tag, could have a different value for the resource group. At the same time, the same tag could have a different value as a resource within the resource group. Probably this does not make sense. Probably you would like to keep all the prods. You probably should only have a production tag inside deployed within this environment, but I'm just giving you the idea that it does not percolate down, and you can create. And if you have a more specific, maybe here you say prod 1, maybe you have something, you're trying to differentiate 3 different production in one, something like that. So you can come up with your own ideas to create the tags. Okay, now some things that I didn't know when I started preparing this lab. The one thing, tag names are case insensitive, but most interestingly, tag values are case sensitive. I don't know what is the reason behind it, but just remember that when you are creating tag names, okay, so I would say, if you click on it, so tag name, so this name is case insensitive, so it doesn't matter whether it's environment caps or it's environment, they're the same thing, but value capital DEV and small DEV, they will be treated as two different entities. Okay, that's very interesting. I never thought that that would be the case, but there must be some business requirement and understanding behind this design. But just remember that that's an important thing to keep in mind. Now, if you want to apply tags, you need to have access to Microsoft.Resources/tags. Okay, that resource type is required, and at least you need a contributor role to tags that would allow you to assign tags. But most interestingly, if you have the contributor role, you still cannot assign tags through the portal. Okay, you still have to use your Azure CLI for that. Okay. Alright, so let's we have seen now how to add tags, so let's use our CLI to do some quick stuff. Okay, so go to the CLI, you can click on this one. I probably already have something going on. Let me see. Yeah, it's here. I just have to get it. So here is your powershell, and it should show up in a minute. If not, I'm just gonna refresh this. Maybe I should just refresh it. And again I'm going to click on this little icon here, and it should bring up my my PowerShell window, and in this window we're going to run some commands. Now be very careful when you are assigning tags using PowerShell. The command is really easy, New-AzTag, and then you're just going to add the new tag. Okay, but if you run this same tag twice on the same resource, your old tags will get replaced by the new tag. Okay, if you want to keep the old tag and still want to add new tag, instead use the Update-AzTag when you have a need to add additional tags. Okay, we'll take a look at the document and run through some commands. I'm not planning to run through everything, but we'll still do 2 or 3 examples just to get you started with this, and then we'll run through it. Okay, so let's go. I have a storage account in here, so let's go to the storage account that we're going to use for this lab, and I'm going to go to this particular one, and I'm interested in the tags. So let's look at the tags. So you can assign tags from here, or you can also go to the tags. Okay, and then you have the similar view. You can also assign it from here as well. If you want to delete a tag, which we're going to do, all you need to do, move this bar if you don't have this delete button available to you, and then just say delete, and they're gone. Okay, now if you say save, remember to do that, then your all of the tags, they should be deleted. Alright, so we have this, we have deleted anything. So this particular resource that I have right now, this one does not have any tags whatsoever. This one still says tags. So let's just refresh it, see if it's, yeah, it's now gone. So remember, you gotta refresh it sometimes, otherwise it will still pull up your tagging scheme from the cache, looks like. Okay, so now we want to add some tags. So before we do that, what we are doing here, we are creating a key value pair right now over here, right? So let's do that. So here this is going to create a variable tags where department, the name is AzureLabs, and value status is test. Okay, so that's pretty simple. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the resource where I want to add the tag. So here this is going to store it. I'm doing Get-AzResource Name testlabrg diag 313. That's the one that I'm working with here. Resource group is testlabrg. So this is the resource group. So I'm going to get the information about this particular resource, store it in resource. Okay, that variable. So hit enter. So once I have that, what I can do, I can add now the new tag that we have created here to this resource group. So let's see how to do that. So if we run this command, so let's see what it's doing. It's adding new tag resource ID. This is the resource. You are doing .id to get the resource ID, and then you're assigning this tag. So that's also pretty simple. So if once I do that, what it said name, value, department AzureLabs. So on the portal it's still not showing anything. So if I do a refresh on it, here we go. So it showed up. So department AzureLabs status test. So we really added two different tags in here. So name is then your department, value is AzureLab, name is your status, value is your test. So we added multiple tags at the same time. All right. So what happens if we want, if we want to add more tags? Okay, say team and Azure and environment. So this is new tags. Okay, we say we want to add now AWS Labs for whatever reason, and we're gonna say the team, the key value pair is team AWS Labs, and another tag is the name, value is environment and Dept. So let's see what happens. If I now click this one, copy this one and paste it over here. Okay, so this again has defined the tags. Then I'm running this to assign the tags to my resource. Now see here I had department AzureLabs and status test. Okay, let's refresh this. What happened? So now I have two new tabs. That's great, environment, dev and team AWS. But what happened to the old tags? That's gone. So when you add new tags using this New-AzTag window, then it overrides all the tags that we have. So that's why you have to be very careful. If you want to maintain and keep your old tags, what you really want to do is run this. Okay, Update-AzTag instead of New-AzTag. So let's run this one just to verify that our tags are this time maintained. So now I have run that command with the update statement. Now if I do a refresh, look at that, my department and the status normal, all those tags are now back. So that's what I want. This is something that I think people, you may make a mistake and delete your old tags. So just keep that in mind and be very careful if you're dealing with tags from a CLI environment. So if you go to this one, it has bunch of examples how you should be using tags, what you can do with it, how you can add multiple tags. To list tags, if you want to list all of the tags, you can also do something like that, and that will list all of the tags. Like if I want to deal with this command, okay, so this is the command. So name, the one that we are using is this, so we can copy all of that. Okay, just to run the same or similar command. Okay, so if I do this, copy this too, and let's go back to our Azure environment, paste and run the command. So this is going to list all the name and value pair that I have for this particular resource, right? The command that I really ran, it's Get-AzTag, then ResourceId, then ResourceId. Okay, that's pretty much all you need to do. All right, so come back over here, see the tags for resource group. So the tags for subscription, you can also look at that list by tag. So you can also do if this particular resource tag is applied by what other resources are there. So we can write something like that. So I know that I have something called prod, right, or status test. So I can copy this, okay, and do here, because I know I have some resources like that. So I can now take this command, go back over here, and I can run this command, Get-AzResource by this tag name. I missed probably a parenthesis. No, what did I miss? Let me go to the document, copy it one more time, okay, I missed colon. So let's get that one, and what we do, we put it back in here. Come on, paste. We didn't paste, so let's do it again. It didn't find anything. No, for whatever reason it didn't find anything, but I was hoping that it will find at least some resource where I have something by test. Let me make sure that I have something by test. Actually I don't. So let's try this one, environment dev. Okay, so if you don't have anything, then you won't get anything. So let's environment, what I have here, let me see, environment dev. So use this one instead in our command, and then it should find my resource. If not, I'll be very disappointed. Okay, let's copy this one and paste it, and it still didn't find anything. So I'm really disappointed. I'm not sure. So spend some time with it and play with it a little bit more, because this one clearly said that I have a Azure resource right here where I have this tag, and I was expecting that I should get this resource back, but it didn't happen that way. So let's read the review list a little bit more. So that didn't work too much. To get resources to specific tag name with the tag value, so you can also go by the tag name, or that here you are providing both tag and value. So let's try a couple of these and see if this still working in my environment. So other one, we were kind of disappointed, right? So tag name, instead of department, we can say tag name is team. And hit enter. This is also not giving me anything. Okay, so you guys need to spend some more time, and I also need to spend some time to go through some of these. I really haven't tried some of the commands down below. So the same thing, I just want to mention that to end the video here, you can do the similar thing with the CLI as well if you're more comfortable with that, and just go through these commands, and you will have similar outputs. Okay, the final thing that I wanted to cover in this video is how you use tags, especially for lots of Azure exams. They will ask how you can identify your billing. So for that, tagging plays a very important role. So if you go to your subscriptions, okay, usually if you have access to your billing, you just click on the subscription, what will show up, it will show you like big charts and stuff, pie charts for your cost and everything. There will be one section for cost, okay, but my subscription, it's a free subscription, it does not have access to the billing information. So the next place where you would go is cost analysis. So in here I'll show you what it has. So here you will see that I have this big large circles, but it will say that I don't have access to the data because it's a free account, and I really don't have a very in-depth analysis to the data. But for you, if you have even a free subscription, once you sign like $200 subscription, you will have access to the data, and here you will be able to download the data, okay, and then review your cost by tags. So once you have tags, you can quickly say, okay, these are the resources, they're tagged as production, and this is my cost of it. Now, what if you have subscription like I'm having, where you do not have a lot of access to this data? In that case, you can still get some information. If you go back to Azure Sponsorship, then overview, and here you see one link for billing information. Visit this. You can still click on this one. This is, since this is a sponsored account, so it will take you over here. You can click over here to check your balance. Okay, so I can still do that. So let's see what it says. And like over here it says I'm using $61, $39 is still remaining. I have one subscription that's in active state. Okay, and then you can click on the usage from here, and it should give you some level of details of how much I'm spending on what resource. So your API management, virtual machines, Azure firewall, storage, all of that, all of the costs, they're listed over here. But unfortunately, this view does not give you the classification by tags. So tags, when you have it, use it under your cost management, cost analysis, okay, and then use it for your own benefit. Alright, so to conclude, in this video you have learned how to assign tags, how to delete tags, how to make sure that you're not removing the existing tags and overwriting with something, and you also looked at where to go to get your billing information and how to download your report and look and classify your resource cost by tags. Alright, thank you for watching the video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please leave me in the comment box. If not, have a great day. If you're studying for the exam, good luck.